Madam Contest Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I've been a stutterer since the age of 5 years old. But one thing you may not know about stutterers is that although stutterers have trouble speaking, stutterers can sing. I can tell some of you are very surprised at that. When I used to have problems stuttering, my dad was very helpful and used to say these words: Ray, if you have trouble saying it, sing it. Now you might think, okay, that sounds okay. And for a stutterer who has a lot of trouble speaking, I'd consider that. So I got the feeling, okay, supposing I want to order a pizza on the phone. Now what would I have to do to sing? I'd first have to think of a tune, then get my words, and it would go, so I'd probably pick something like My Girl Lollipop, because I'll remember that one. Okay, so I'll get to the phone, and there we go. Ring the dial. I'd like a pizza. Can you make it with anchovy? Now, everybody knows that when you go to make the call, that song is not going to be there for you. There's no way you're going to know what tune to use when you go to say something and you're having trouble speaking. Let's try some statistics here, because what I'm about to show you is going to astonish all of you. Can I have a show of hands? Everyone here who has ever touched a drop of alcohol. Hands up, please. Okay, keep your hands up. Now, those who stutter or have ever been lost for words. Okay, we have about 100% when you look around. So this applies to you. What I'm going to present to you tonight is a ground-breaking idea, and that is a book, which is called Songs of Life. You'll see my picture there at the bottom. Now the thing about Songs of Life is that it will be marketed differently. For those who stutter or have trouble with words, this will be called Songs for Life. For those of you who drink alcohol, it'll be songs for people who just don't make any sense. This is going to appeal to 100% of the population. Now I can picture you're thinking, okay, well, give me an example. How does this really work? I'll give you a typical example where you would be lost for words. You're at the traffic lights, you pull up and suddenly you hear this loud, vibrating, music blaring pack of hoons pull up at the traffic lights. And of course, because of all the commotion, you look around and you know what happens. Someone in the car gets eye contact with you. Oh no! And suddenly they've got their windows down, they've caught you and they say these words. What are you staring at? Okay, we've been there, some of us have been there. You can see the faces. Okay, normally you'd go red and shrink in your car. But now, Songs of Life. You open and look in the index, hoons pulling up in car at traffic lights and asking why you are staring. Okay, and it's got the song and the way to do it. Window down and a swaying motion. So you look into their eyes and do something like this. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You're like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. Now I guarantee that car is going to run a red light. But suddenly, you're starting to make a difference. You are making the world a friendlier place. Besides the nightmares that they'll have, they're not going to do that anymore. So, what other examples? We know one of the hardest things is when a police officer comes to you. You've just cut off a person in a car. In my case, it's usually a lady I cut off for some reason. And suddenly the police officer comes to you and he says, "What happened?" Suddenly, songs of life are there for you. Person who's been driving erratically and you cut off accidentally. It's right there. She's a maniac, maniac on the road, and she's acting like she's never driven before. You've probably seen the hand signals from a lot of people, but not the song. The doctor. Remember the doctor. He asks how you are, and you say, "Fine." You're not fine, you wouldn't be there. Suddenly, songs of life. Doctor comes to you. You got that stomach cramp. Look it up. "I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me." And after he's done the analysis, you can do the, "Doctor, doctor, give me the news, I gotta know what the problem is." So now you've got the words to use in every situation. I hope, ladies and gentlemen, that I have convinced you, without a shadow of a doubt, this book is life-changing. This is going to make people's future so bright that they'll need sunglasses when they get up in the morning. I will stand 100% behind this statement, that 9 out of 10 of every one of these books sold will represent 90% of the total sales of the product. And with that, from the Songs of Life, I will leave you with this. Good night, sweethearts. Good night, Madam Contest.